He changed the name to drop down.
Come on! Bingo, we're on. Right, okay, folks, welcome to another Thursday night and welcome to Proper Football. Oh boy, a bit of a topsy-turvy one this. We got no Callie, there's no Dan, there's no Simon. We're supposed to have Simon from Chippenham on, he's broken down. And we are struggling to get Jono, who is a Burnley supporter, which we would have some good conversations about their situation. And, of course, Jono also organises the Combined Veterans UK Football Club, which had a game on Saturday for raising money for PTSD. So we are having a few problems, and it's totally thrown me. So the show is going to be a little bit ad hoc. Right, okay. It was going to be a completely new panel today. At the moment, it's just me and one new member, Greg Douglas. Greg is a Watford supporter who I know, but has moved to the Midlands and also has now started supporting Stourbridge. Greg, welcome.
All right, you all right? Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. Good to be here. Good to be on. Obviously, after our good catch up on Sunday,
we'll chat a little bit about that. Sure. Yeah. What's good is we've got a younger person on for once. We are, we do tend to be a load of old farts on this show. Right, okay. Look, like I say, folks, a lot of dropouts last minute and technical issues with Jono, which is such a shame because I really was looking forward to talk about the Combined Veterans UK football team and what they do and the work they do. As well as he's a big Burnley fan, so we were going to talk a lot about Burnley. We're light on the ground, and now I've got to think of lots and lots of things to talk about. So, people, I really need you to get on that chat and join in tonight, please. Yeah, get on there and join in with us so that we've got a few more people. Right, we're going to talk about a few various subjects, and some are going to be controversial. I've even put a shirt on for tonight. Look at this. Look. Smartened up. Look at him with his Calvin Klein jumper on. These young'uns. It's refreshing to have someone of a younger age on the show. Right, okay. Yes, we are going to be quite controversial tonight. So I will be opening up. We have to talk about pitch invasions. We have no choice. It's a football show. And there's quite a bit to talk about there. And I've got the raving ump with certain pundits and media people as well about a lack of understanding of a football fan. And all these people that jump on the bandwagon who know absolutely fuck all about football. And all of a sudden they know everything. They do piss me off. And I am angry about it. And I'm going to say why in a bit. So I'm going to open it up. Greg, I'll bring you in shortly. I'm going to give you my take on what's gone on this last couple of weeks. And for me, people out there join in. For me, what these very few morons, absolute dickheads, by going on and attacking players and managers, They have ruined it for everyone else. That's my view. They really have. And unfortunately, I've had to change my opinion. And I am now of the opinion that, unfortunately, people, I think we've got to see an end to pitch invasions. You know, I completely get it. Right. So get rid of pitch invasions because of what's gone on from that very few morons that have ruined it. Now, here's my gripe, right? And I don't know if people will agree. You've got these people jumping on as if there's never been a pitch invasion before. Mate, it's been going on since football. Pitch invasions have been going on from day dot. Some for the wrong reasons, especially back in the 80s, and some for the right reasons. I've been involved in both sorts. And, you know, and yeah, for the wrong reasons, they should be stopped. I can't deny that. Looks like Jono's just tried to get back on and he's not managed it. So I don't know if Jono's going to be able to get on or not. They're going to persevere. I think Dan's trying to help him. Right. So back to the point in question that's niggling me. So, like I say, I've had to change my opinion, and I now believe that we have to stop pitch invasions because of the morons attacking managers and players. And I completely agree. You know, you can't be doing that. It's just not right. But like I say, this is thousands of people getting on a pitch. This isn't just a few, a couple of hundred. If we look at Everton, look at Bristol Rovers, you know, and all the others that have been going off for the last couple of weeks, and there has been a big upturn. And I believe I understand why. You know, there are thousands of the fans getting on. This isn't a small minority, a little clique in the corner, right? And then you've got likes of Roy Keane, and I will say his name, and other pundits and other media people absolutely destroying these people getting on the pitch, calling them morons, lowlife, scum. Having a go. Oh, look, he's got his kid. What sort of dad is he? Listen, they need to wobble their heads and they need to go and forth and multiply. That's my view, right? These people getting on the pitch, it is a tradition. We must set aside the morons, but those people that get on the pitch, they're not lowlifes, they're not morons, they're not, you know, bad dads. This the euphoria of the moment. We've all been there. And it has been a tradition at the end of the season to get on the pitch at most clubs, right? And it is a good experience. I've experienced it. Greg, I will come on to you very, very shortly, and you can tell me what your feelings are and what experiences you've had.
Yeah.
But I've experienced it, and taking the photos on the pitch of your beloved football club, the euphoria of winning something, right? And that doesn't make these people bad dads. It doesn't make them morons. It doesn't make them other stuff. And I truly, truly, truly wish the media and these pundits just fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm swearing. I am very angry about the way they have lambasted the normal fan, you know, because it is thousands. Again, I repeat, I set aside the morons that have got on and ruined it for other people. Bear with me 1 minute, folks. Hello, Jono. Can you hear me? Hello, Jono. No. Okay. All right. So Jono's sort of got on, but he can't hear me and I can't see him. He's gone again now. All right. We are having lots and lots of problems tonight. Right. So, people, please, I'd like your comments on this. Right. So let me now get on to why I believe there's a major upturn. And again, why I believe there's a lot of twats in the media and on punditry. So, you know what? We ain't got a lot to look forward to as working class people. You know, we've come out of this pandemic. We've you know, we've come through a lot of shit, and unfortunately, we've walked into a load more shit. War. Cost of living, you know, and you don't have a lot to look forward to. And you know, if you love your club and everything else, and there's some, it gives you something uplifting, and it does create a euphoria. And you know, as much as some people say it's wrong, I think I've got Stephen Parkin saying, Gary, it was a bad day on Sunday. A lot of people went on the pitch when City won. I get that. And there are a lot of morons, and I think, you know, breaking the goalposts and shit like that, it's no good at all. And anything to do with attacking players and managers is ridiculous, and they've ruined it for everyone. And I am now of the feeling, Stephen, that we have to stop pitch invasions. But I just don't like the way they've spoke down about the thousands of normal fans that have gone there, calling them morons, not true fans, bad dads. You know, so people have come through a lot of shit, and they've got a lot of shit ahead of us, and we all have. You know, these are not good times, and you have that little bit of joy in your life, and you know, it's always been a tradition. If you've had some success to get on the pitch, I think that has risen because of it's given everyone a bit of a boost. You've got not a lot else to look forward to, but hey, you know, my team have won. And also, again, you know, I come back to what I always say, and that is there are too many idiots out there who are in the media and that who think they know everything about a football fan, yet they've never spoke to one, not a proper one, and they don't understand if for a lot of people it's their religion. You know, they don't go church, they go football. It's their life. For some people, they've got nothing else. So yes, there is euphoria, and sometimes that can boil over. And getting on the pitch is one of them, but it doesn't make them a bad dad. It doesn't make them a low life, and it doesn't make them a moron unless they get on for the wrong reasons. Then yes, they are. I ain't going to say no more about it. That's how I feel. Very angry with these so-called people who think they know everything. And bear in mind, as I just said, we got hard times. We're struggling to put fuel in our tanks, struggling to put food on our table. These pricks who are calling everyone every name under the sun, and yes, rightly so for the ones that have got onto the wrong reasons, they're all right. Because you know why? They earn a mint. They earn a mint of money. They have no idea what the working class people go through these days. Right, that's it. Deep breath from me, because I've had a proper rant there, people. Whether you agree with me or not is up to you. Stephen has put a comment up like, say, Stephen, look, I agree with the wrong side of it. And I also now agree it has to stop because of that. But I don't think that allows these idiots to call out fans who I believe are not what they're trying to say they are, you know. But anyway, I think I've frightened a lot of people. I'm going to shut up. Deep breath. What's your feeling on it, Greg?
I agree with most of what you said.
Oh, your volume, mate. Your volume.
Oh, 1 sec, mate.
It was good earlier.
1 sec, 1 sec.
Can't hear you, mate. I don't know. Anyone on there can tell me, can they hear Greg? Because I can't. No, you can hear me loud and clear?
My volume was all right. 1 sec, mate. Can you hear me now?
Hang on. Speak now.
You hear me now? You hear me?
No.
1 sec. What about now? Can you hear me now?
Right, I think, yeah. So Greg has just said he can hear you. You crack on. I'll try and listen. Might be something on my end.
Right, 1 sec, mate. So yeah, basically, I agree with most of what you said. I think that, you know, one or two morons spoil it for everyone else. So, you know, you have, for example, like the bloke who attacked Billy Sharp, absolute idiot. You know, he's completely deserved what he get. If anything, he probably should have been banged up for longer. So I agree with that. I think, you know, when you said that pitch invasions should stop, I don't agree with that. I don't want them to stop, and I hope they don't stop. If I think back over the years, I don't remember too many incidents. It seems a bit weird this season. I don't know if it's because every single incident is being highlighted. But, you know, like obviously you had the Billy Sharp one, you had the Mansfield one, I think it was. You know, then you had like the post and all that being broken at the ground and all that City. Is it just the fact that one major incident happened and now all these other little incidents are basically, you know,
mate, sorry, can I just stop you for 1 minute?
Yes,
Greg,
mate.
That when I said Greg can hear you, I did mean you, Greg. Sorry, yeah. Right, yeah, I get it. Sorry, someone on there, yeah, we call him Greg. Sorry, mate. Yeah, no. Carry on.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. So like I say, I think it's just the fact that I don't know if the media obviously jumps on a bandwagon. The media, all they do is jump on bandwagons. They're all robots. They all copy each other. Their opinions are all narrow-minded. You know, they like to label all football hooligans, including me and you, thugs and wrong-uns and this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter how old we are. We got certain opinions. We go to football. We have a sing song. You know, we're labelled the way we're labelled. Just because that happens, if Watford have a pitch invasion for any reason, me and you go on. Neither me or you are going to cause any aggro. And nor
not anymore anyway. No. Sorry.
Yeah, but neither are 99% of fans. You know what I mean? 1% of idiots shouldn't spoil it for everyone else. And I agree with what you said. I agree with a lot of what you said. But I don't want to see them stop, mate. This time
Greg,
next year, if we're in the playoff semi-final, mate, I want to go on the pitch if we
lose.
You know
I don't. And I think this is the problem, that I don't. But what these guys have done, have taken it to a different level. You know, it's not like it's just that. I mean, the guy headbutting the fella. I mean,
it was disgusting.
Wept. I mean, that's ludicrous what happened there. And then there just seems to have been a continuation, you know, of players being. I think Swindon players were attacked at Port Vale. You know, you had the fella at Northampton Town, and
what gets me as well. What really gets me is the Swindon game, and I think it was the Mansfield game as well, and then there might have been one other. These all occurred after that Forest game. Now, surely these people that have done this at the games after have seen that actually this Forest lad's run on, headbutted Billy Sharp. He got nicked the same night. He got charged the day after, and he was banged up the day after that. So all within 48, 72 hours. Yeah. Surely they've looked at that and thought, oh, well, hang on a minute. If I do the same 3 or 4 days later, that's going to happen to me. But they obviously haven't got the IQ to be able to realise that. So, you know, it's 1%, if not even less than 1%, that you're going to cause trouble. You know,
just to throw into that as well, I did do a bit of research. I asked a few people at certain clubs, are these known hooligans? Are these known football lads? Are they part of a group or anything? Yeah. And they're not. You know, I mean, well, you didn't have to ask Northampton. You only had to look at the picture of the guy on the pitch to know he weren't. You know,
to be honest, I've not seen that one. But,
and you know, and Everton. I mean, Stephen's obviously mentioned about Man City. Sorry, the pitch invasion. I mean, that did look mental. Again, you know, do you know? Again, I've seen this all season, and things have changed this season. We've come back from the lockdown where we've not had nothing. We've come out of something where I know I'm repeating myself. We've come out, and I'm not, you know, I listen to all these supposed people in the know, and none of them got a fucking clue. No. And I honestly, genuinely believe that, you know, football was a working class sport. I'm not so sure it is anymore, or whether it will survive as a working class sport because of the nature of the direction football's going in, and you know, traditional working class supporters in the way we use it as a you know,
I think
you work hard all week, you go your game on Saturday, and you let rip a bit, you know.
Do you know what? I think it's different levels of football. I think, like, if you take Watford for example, I hate going to home games because all you get is just aggro. Do you know what I mean? If you stand up, you're told to sit down. If you sing a certain song, you're told not to sing it. That happened to Chelsea. Right. Do you know what I mean? So it's like...
Sorry, Greg. Bear with me, mate. Bear with me, because I think we got Jono on.
Oh, lovely.
Jono! I can't hear you.
Sound.
Is your mic turned off? I can see you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, mate. Can you hear me? Just nod if you can hear me. You can hear me. Right, is your mic turned on along the bottom? There's the little... It is. I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear what he's saying? No.
Yeah, I can't hear him this end either.
Can anyone hear Jono? No, can't hear you, Jono. I'm just... Oh, he's gone again. Right, okay. Sorry about this, folks. We're having a really bad night. Stephen saying, Greg, look, I say ban all the troublemakers. I mean, you know, that's quite a broad statement. And, you know, these people that are getting on the pitch, I would say a lot of them are looking for their 15 minutes of fame, I think, you know. They've got to be banned. They've got to be banned. If someone's getting on the pitch cause trouble, yes, they've got to be banned. Simple as that. As you've said, you don't want to see. I believe with what they've done, I think we have a problem in which that they're taking it to a different level. And at the moment, I can only see the option being you've got to somehow stop a pitch invasion, which
But this is the
I've
thing, though. How do you stop
experienced
it?
many, mate, and I agree with you. You know,
Yeah.
they're traditional, whatever anyone says, they're not morons getting on, you know, and they get on, and it is an experience. If in the right context, you're on your pitch feeling, you know, it is what it is.
I think, do you know what I think the worst thing about the trouble is as well, though? Like, you know, we all go to football and we're more than happy to call a player a wanker or sing a certain song or whatever. You know, when you're in the stands, you're fully entitled and you're in your right to do that, whether it's one of your own, which we've all done because they've taken the piss out of the club or whatever, or it's an opposition. We've all done it. But when you're on a pitch, you actually see players getting attacked and, you know, jumped on and this, that, and the other. And you think, what I don't know what goes through some people's heads. Like, there's certain players out there that I don't like, but I'm never ever gonna do anything like that. You know, like I heard Neil Warnock on Talk Sport, and he was saying he was at Bristol City and he couldn't get off the pitch.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Kicked and all that, and like that, and you just think, like, what is wrong with these people? You know, you got to have something like loose in there.
I mean, they put the blame every time. The blame goes firmly on drugs, and I don't believe it's all drugs. I believe football's a drug in itself. Yeah. If you're that fixated on your team, it can lead you to do things you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
In normal life. Again, coming back to, I don't think the authorities, I don't think the new world order of woke football fans, and I don't think pundits, because let's face it, you know, Nigel, very much an advocate of, and I understand he said, look, you know, and he sees it from a player's point of view, but the players have never seen it from our point of view, because very rarely have they ever been part of what we have, because they've always been on the other side of the barrier. Yeah. So it is a very difficult thing. They do need, say Greg, I mean Greg number 2. How can it be stopped without fences or a moat? I agree. I don't think it can be stopped, but something has got to happen to stop people attacking players and managers. That really has. That's taking it to another level. I think. Yeah, you know, everyone's talking about it. Like I say, I'm going to wrap this one up because we've got other things to talk about. I don't know what's happening with Jono. I really don't. It's such a shame. I'm going to talk a little bit about what Jono's all about, though. But look, we'll finish this one off on the basis that, you know, my point of view is, I think that I don't like the way that these people sitting in their ivory towers have called out fans for, you know, why would you run on a pitch? You're a moron. Look, he's got his kid with him. He's bad. That don't sit well with me, because it has been a tradition for many, many years, and in the right context, it is an experience that is a memory for that supporter, and it can be a really good day. And some clubs have loved it. I mean, even after the Everton game, you know, Lampard, he loved it. If you look at Bristol Rovers, and I've just got to say, everyone, if you remember last week, I mentioned about what I believe is one of the most iconic pictures for a long, long time in football, and that is the players in their kit on the lampposts. Look, behind me, there, I got it. That is such a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant photo. And Stephen, Gary, I watched Leeds game and there was no trouble. Stephen, I'll put it to you, mate. You can say, I hear what you're saying, but not every pitch invasion there's been trouble. What do we deem as trouble? Do you deem pitch invasion as trouble, or not? I don't personally, unless the people getting on are hell bent on trouble. So yes, we have had the morons that have caused the problem, but I watched Leeds game. There was no trouble. Was there trouble at Bristol Rovers when they were on the pitch? There wasn't. And that probably goes for many pitch invasions that have not even been spoke about. I think we've got Jono back on. Sorry, folks. Stephen, maybe we can talk about this again next week, because I'm going to have to move on. I would like to understand what you mean by no trouble, because like I say, you can put it on here, do you view a pitch invasion as trouble? That would be really interesting, because then you are generalising every support of the thousands that got on the pitches at certain places, you know. But I do agree the trouble's got to be stamped out. Jono, can you hear me?
Yes, I think. I'm very, very, very sorry about that. Sorry, I'm not very.
No, mate. Listen, we've not even had a chance to talk. I've never spoke to you before. I've seen the interview you did with Dan, and this is Greg who's with us as well. And
nice to meet you, mate. You're right.
And you, mate. Yeah, and you.
And we've just been
relegation buddies, I hear.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. I'm going to come off a subject because we've spent too long on it, but it is a subject everyone was talking about. I don't know how much you've heard of the show so far. We were talking about the pitch invasions, and very much everyone has very, very different opinions of what that is. I'm going to shut it down now because we're going to run out of time for other things to talk about. But anyway, I am going to make the most of getting you on, and then we're going to talk about the games that are left in terms of playoffs, European Cup, and see what we've got left. Right, listen, before we touch on Burnley, because I'd like to talk a little bit about Burnley, because they're not looking too good for Burnley. What I will say is congratulations to your promotion into Championship, by far the best league in the world.
Yeah, too right. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. But I know that comes at a price for you guys. So let's talk about Combined Veterans UK Football Club.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So obviously, I'm just going to let everyone know, on Saturday you had a game up at Lincoln United.
And you played against
RAF Veterans, was it?
It was, yeah.
And you raised £1,250 for PTSD resolution, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Mate, I think you've done that. That's fantastic. And I know you know, do you know what? I've got to say, I've got here that your next game is going to be against Carlton Town in the pre-season friendly. Mate, I think we just call this show Carlton Town. For all those what we seem every road we go down ends at Carlton Town. It's quite funny. I love them to bits there, by the way. I really do.
Yeah, great club,
fantastic club. What I'd like you to do is give us an insight into what Combined Veterans UK Football Club's all about.
Yeah, certainly. Well, the CVFC was formed by myself in early December 2020, just after the lockdown. Initially, it was meant to be a one-off, a match to raise money for an entity known as Blesma, which specialise in helping Limbus veterans. And the reason I wanted to help them is because a friend of mine who I was in basic training with, Scott Yarrington, he was on the same tour as myself. Well, by then we were in different battalions. He was a W amputee now, sadly. And when I was doing a bit of it was a therapy through the arts thing I was doing. Sounds a bit weird, but I went through a bit of a bad time, and kind of like a confidence builder. I was doing a bit of acting, which was funded by Ray Winston. And when we were down here, because that's how I ended up down here, Western-super-Mare, they had people there because some of them were in wheelchairs, some of the cast, some of them did have limbs missing. And Blesma were absolutely brilliant because some of them had to be in uncomfortable positions throughout the day, like standing up on prosthetics. Some of them, like one of them, Ken Bellringer, was the worst injured British soldier in the history of the Afghanistan war. It was hard for him just to stay awake. He was tired all the time. They were there to make sure his life was brilliant. They just went above and beyond. You know what I mean? And I was really in awe of them, like what they did. When I know there was another entity who I'm not going to name who was meant to be helping them and they didn't. And within an hour of Blesma being aware of the situation at the British Legion Hotel where we were, they were there, and it was just absolutely fantastic. The build up to that, like I say, we built that up over 6 months. We made up a team to play against Western All Stars, and it just kind of snowballed. And we ended up raising just over £6,000. We've raised a further 600 for them this year, so that's just under £7,000 we've raised for Blesma. And we've just all the build up of it, and all the people that have jumped on board, and all the fun we have with it. And it's great to see people I never thought I'd see again from school in Germany, and people I was in the army with. Obviously, I left the British Army under a dark cloud, so it was real. I didn't think I'd ever see them again. It was nice to see them, and obviously we messaged like celebrities hoping they'd help us push it out, and people like Cass Pennant came on board. You know, he absolutely loved that bloke. Like he donated himself. You know, yet he raised £1,600 by himself for us to donate by going around someone's house when we've done a live auction, chilling out with them for 90 minutes. You know what I mean? Giving them a load of signed merch, like from Frank Bruno, from some of the films he's done. And then me and my mates who started it off, we just sat there one day and thought, why don't we do it like each year? You know, the veterans community this minute it's not in a good state. Do you know what I mean? And there's not a lot of people out there who, with the power to do it, are trying to make a change. There's a lot, you know, I'm not trying to cause trouble. There's a lot of people.
Show you can cause trouble. Crack on.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, sadly, mate, there's a lot of people out there using the Afghanistan war, the Iraq war, the Falklands war as a way to make money for themselves. To come across like they do care.
I've heard a few things, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't. I mean, like I say, from my experience, that's how I know. I'm not just going off stuff I see on the internet. I mean, I've been in supported housing before for armed forces veterans, and they helped me get clean. Do you know what I mean? And they're brilliant, and they're no longer here. And then I've also been to one where it was about that individual becoming a face and becoming a name. And it's just such a corrupt environment, and it's so bad. And whilst that's happening, a lot of my brothers and sisters, a lot of my mates' brothers and sisters, you know, they're dying. You know, I've got 5 mates. One of them died last week, killed himself. There's just too many happening, and all this help that needs to be isn't going out there. So what we're doing is we're using the club, because football is you know, you know yourself, lads, it's the most powerful sport in the world. It's got
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It unites people.
It's the biggest platform in the world.
And it gets people's attention, doesn't it? So I sat there with mate Anthony, and I thought, you know, we need to push this out, and we need to use it. So what we've done is we tried finding the right team. We did the RAF, because obviously most of us are ex-army, and people want to see that. And like that match we had with them there, it was an eye-opener for us, what we need to work on in that, but I'll get onto that later. But Jesus, fuck, man, what a passionate match that was. Like, it was just absolutely brilliant. Like, there was fights everywhere. Yeah, like you see on the TV, everybody was just, because of what it was about. Do you know what I mean? Everybody, and there was people there who were in the 70s playing. This one guy in the RF, we had someone who was 61. You know, the average age was, they were in the 40s, and I'll tell you what, they were moving around that pitch like they were in their early 20s, like they were back in service. They're absolutely brilliant. And we're trying to push that match out. We've called it the League of Heroes. We formed the league, and we're trying to push it out over as the years come. Do you know what I mean? So one year, potentially, you know, in 5 years' time, we could use Wembley and it would fill Wembley. Because the whole aim of it is I'm building a football team that's worth the hype, and they are, because they're excellent. And to try and get people's hard-earned money to buy tickets, raffle prizes, and in turn, we will then donate that money to a struggling veterans charity. Like, the next one's going to be for Scotty's Little Soldiers. I don't know if you've heard of them, but
we've actually, I do know them really well. Actually, we've done some charity work with them. I work with a chap called Steve Guy, West Ham lad, and he did a big car pin competition, and it was all the money was right. And Scotty's Little Soldiers came down. Yeah. And for those people who are wondering who they are, if you've ever watched the Centaur Parade, people, they've been doing it the last 2 years now. Scottish Little Soldiers, they're the young children. They come down with the yellow and black, not Watford, but yellow and black scarves and that round. And they do get a mention every time on Remembrance Sunday. And it's where, fantastic charity run by really, really lovely people.
I mean, you know, these kids, you know, they lost their dads when they were kids. They're all adults now, near enough. Do you know what I mean? To go through that is horrific. Do you know what I mean? I won't get too much into that, because it does get me a bit upset. Like, but it's we're going to do that over a 12-month period. We've got the venue. We're just waiting on a date, so I don't want to finalise yet. But it's an excellent venue. It holds 3,000 people. It's the biggest venue we would have played at to date. What we're going to do over the next year, we're going to do some fun stuff, some mad stuff, which is probably going to raise a few eyebrows, all in aid to raise money as we go forward, you know, because it is quite daunting if you're asking for people's money all the time. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to come across like that. So some of the lads are going to do sponsored skydive. Some of them are going to do sponsored swim, sponsored runs. We're going to get out in the community. and over a year period, try and raise as much as we can. Get donations for raffle prizes, because we always have a raffle at the end of the match. We've been fortunate, very, very fortunate so far to get a few signed things off Frank Bruno and Cass Pennant, possibly off Tony Bellew. There's a gentleman called Aaron Blythe who helps us out there. And we want to, like, not just raise money for them, but also I go on and I do lives now and then. And it's to push out what they are and the good work that they do. Because a lot of people haven't heard of these people because they get overshadowed by the bigger ones, which I think is wrong. And it's like, whilst that's happening, there's people who could have a second chance and they're slipping under the net. Do you know what I mean? And it's very, very, very distressing to see. I mean, we've got a lad who plays for us. He's still serving and he's a major. And I won't mention his name, but this is how much it shouts volumes. He originally just started for a kickabout because he moved to the area. And he turned around to me there a few weeks ago and goes, I didn't know it was like this. I said, yeah. I said, yeah, this is exactly what it's like. I mean, it's a lot better now. I mean, I got dismissed from service in 2012. And I'm just starting to get some help for myself now. Do you know what I mean? Because I weren't any really there, really. But I did, like, manage to get, like, people that fucking put an arm around me and give me help with my drug addiction. And thank God for them. Do you know what I mean? Because I probably wouldn't be here now. But the real, like, thing that was bugging me was I've just started coming out of it now since doing this. And every single one of them boys on that football team has been through it as well. And they're all sick and tired of seeing the same thing happening. You know, their brothers suffering and dying. And it's not just them, it's the women as well, because there's a lot of women people don't understand that. There's a lot of women who served on the front line as well. Yeah. And they take their own lives too. And the thing is with Afghanistan, nobody was safe. It doesn't matter whether you were a cook, a mechanic. Everybody went outside the gates at one point. Do you know what I mean? And the thing with Afghanistan is everybody out there was your enemy. I didn't meet one person when I was out there who, like, showed that they wanted us there. They didn't. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I won't get too much onto that.
No,
it's just absolutely diabolical how things are. And it's like back in 2020, the thing that gave us like a kick up the ass to do it is, you know, when there was a riot round in Bristol because of the George Floyd incident, what happened in America.
Okay, yeah.
And I agree with this. There's a statue of a bloke who used to.
Yeah, constant statue.
Yeah. And like, I thought, well, yeah, you know, someone who fucking used to go around promoting slavery probably shouldn't have a statue named about him, but hey-o. But then war memorials started getting targeted.
Yeah.
And I've seen videos left, right, and centre of war memorials being targeted.
Yeah.
And fucking, like, the police just standing there, like, letting it happen.
Man.
And then there was word that was going to happen in Weston-super-Mare. And my little boy had just been born. He was about 4 weeks old. And I said, like, we all know what it's like with babies, man. Fucking, it's hard work. But I said to my missus, I'm sorry, I've got to go. Like, so I did. And I went down, and there was no trouble or anything. But someone took a picture of us all from a distance and put it on one of the local Facebook sites, like. And the kids who were coming on there, like, they were calling us baby killers and said we shot innocent people in the Middle East and that. And I was like, fuck you, know. And it upset me and it angered me because I actually did witness a dead child out in Afghanistan. And I think most people did. Do you know what I mean? And I can tell you now, no British soldier or American soldier ever fucking did that. Like, you know, I've seen murdered families that the Taliban did. And these young kids who've been fed the wrong information through social media, because obviously when, you know, I went there in 2010 and YouTube was starting to, you know, and Facebook was starting to become a thing then. Do you know what I mean? And these young kids who were like 10 or 11 were getting fed all this rubbish, and now they're grown men or women. And, you know, this is the generation we're left with today. And another reason is football, because there's so many reasons. It's just hard to get them all out sometimes. So I apologise.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, football's a massive platform, and that is why there does appear at the moment to be a sort of a battle of generations, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, Greg's on with us, and you're on with us. You're probably the two youngest people we've had on the show. If I'm honest, we're old men, most of us, but no, it's quite funny. Yes, and I do mean you as well, Callie. He's watching, by the way. And it is, and I think, unfortunately, and we are going to touch on something a little bit, which is rather controversial. But again, it's because football has been recognised by many, many movements and many, many organisations from whatever background, left, right, whatever, as a massive platform. And unfortunately, football's allowing it to be self-politicised, which don't help. And then messages like yours and what you do sits in the background, and you got the messages that maybe aren't as important are stealing funders. So what I want to say is this: Combined Veterans UK Football Club. Okay, now we will start promoting this on a regular basis for you. Any games you keep us informed, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna keep in touch. Now, if I'm right in saying your game at Colton Town FC is on the 23rd of July, yeah?
It is, yeah. We've got one before then against a local team, Bedminster Down FC. If anyone in Bristol, if anyone fancies coming to watch that.
This is in Bristol, is it? Well, we'll get us some detail over, and we'll do a poster and everything for you, and we'll get it promoted. Colton Town, I'll be there. Obviously, you know, I've been there before, and I've been to a few of the a couple of their games, done videos. Obviously, we're great friends with the owners. Well, it's a members-owned club, but Mick was on last week, the chairman. Boatsy is a good friend of mine, and Boatsy does some brilliant work down there. So we're going to push that as well. We'll get down there. So proper football will be at Colton Town on the 23rd as well, and we'll push the hell out of it. Obviously, time ticking. I'd love to talk to you all night about this. I really would. But
I apologise about me.
No. Time doesn't let me. However, what I will say to everyone listening: go to our YouTube channel, and let me just bring it up again. Where are we? There we are. Just bring it up there now. Go to our YouTube channel, and when you do, please subscribe. But anyway, go to the YouTube channel and have a look. We've got lots and lots of interviews, way day things, these shows. Go on there, and you will find an hour-long interview with Jono, and you'll find out an awful lot more. So do that. Jono, what I want to do straight away, I'll leave that up for a moment so people. Oh, it just said subscribe. Just go to Proper Football on YouTube, folks, and find that interview if you want to know more about Combined Veterans UK Football Club. We certainly will make a lot more of it for you.
Thank you.
Right, let's move on to Burnley. Now, you're an avid Burnley supporter, correct?
Well, yeah, for the past 20 years.
Yeah. So Burnley, obviously relegated. Both me and Greg support Watford, although we will touch on Greg's new love, should we say, as well, for Starbridge. Sorry?
If you switch to cricket?
Yeah.
Just a non-league.
So Burnley, a couple of questions for you, really. Like I say, as Watford fans, we are quite happy we've gone down. I don't like the Premier League. I'm quite open about that with everybody. So I'm quite happy. For me, it's a promotion into a better league, a league where you don't need to have an Arab owner or an American owner to have a chance of winning anything. Anyway, that said, so first of all, Sean Dyche, right or wrong? Should they got rid of him, yes or no?
Yes, but wrong time. Yes, they should have got rid of him.
Okay.
And I love him. Don't get me. I've even got my favourite.
I know they love him up there. Yeah, I know.
I absolutely. If he ever sees this, Sean, you're my idol. I love you in a bit. But yeah, it was the wrong time. It was totally disloyal to him to go and do that. It was a very, very stupid thing to do. But yeah, it was the right decision. I feel myself.
Right.
Because
okay. Cool.
Reason for that is, we're in the Premier League 6 seasons and we just didn't evolve. He took us as far as he could.
Is that down to Sean Dyche, or is it down to lack of being able to invest in the side good enough to compete in that league?
I think them lads are more than good enough. I mean, you look at all the players now that are attracting interest from other clubs because we've gone down. We had the players there. What he lacked was because of Mike Garlick. For such a long time, didn't give him the money. So it was a bit of both. It wasn't all down to him.
Yeah.
But I think when, the thing, like you say, mate, the reason why we like non-league football now, the Premier League's greedy. The only way you're going to survive is if if you do a Newcastle or a Man City, get someone coming in with billions of pounds. But, we were there 6 seasons. We would have built up money. And then we just never, ever, every transfer window was like waiting for a heart attack for me. Like, just
so, second question.
Yeah.
Not question. This is a subject, I suppose. Before I say that, I've got to say, so Burnley have no problems with having vampires turn up at their games, have they?
No.
Plenty of garlic around. Right, anyway. Sorry, couldn't resist it. Oh, sad, man, sad. Right, okay. Yeah. Oh, that was bad.
I actually seen him. He is a miserable fucker, him. I went over I've just got literally. I went over to say hello to him. He's like, just looked at me like, told me like basically to fucking do one for.
Right. But, so, I'm sorry because time is rapidly running out. To cover off something else. The other thing was Watford have got to rebuild. Me and Greg know that. We've had this discussion like with many other Watford fans. We know there's problems in our club. But your problem is this loan, isn't it? This loan, £63 million that they are now demanding us to be paid back, which means your parachute payments are gone. You ain't got them.
Yeah. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what to
offload all your high-paid players because how will you be able to pay them?
Well, that's it. Maxwell Cornet is going to go. Tarkowski's on a free, so we'll get nothing for him. Nick Pope, he's going to go. It's potential that Dwight McNeil's going to go. I mean, he's a young lad. He's brilliant. He'll probably end up going. But even with that, we're not going to get 65 million. I don't think.
Bad business. Relying or guaranteeing a loan against being in the Premier League, that is ridiculous. And
you know that Weghorst that you signed, is he on loan or was he permanent?
Is that the German?
Yeah, we bought him in January. Yeah,
you actually signed him.
Million.
Yeah, right. Because obviously Wood went for 20, didn't he?
Yeah,
so, yeah. I didn't know if it was one of them like loan with an obligation to buy or whatever. Or...
Well, I don't know. I mean, because there is a bit of light in the end of the tunnel. There has been a bit of talk about Vincent Kompany coming. And if that happens, if that happens, I think we're okay. If it doesn't happen, I'll be totally honest with you. I'm very worried about ending up in League One next season because it's like you say, it's not looking good at all for us.
The thing is with someone like Kompany as well. The thing is with someone like Kompany is okay, people will say he lacks experience, but he's going to have so many links to so many clubs, like especially City, where he'll get the young players in. Do you know what I mean? He's one of them managers, a bit like a Gerrard, a bit like a Lampard. He's going to have a lot of contacts.
Yeah,
so that would help Burnley in the Championship, especially because obviously you ain't got the biggest of squads anyway.
No, I mean it is a good thing. I think I've had a little look at his record since he's been over at Anderlecht, and he's not done too bad. I mean, you've got to think he played under like Mancini and Pep Guardiola and that other one who looked like Camp Dracula for years. So he's gonna know a thing or two.
He can't have gone to Burnley surely because you've got too much garlic.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited about it, but then again, mate, I was excited about Danny Drinkwater coming in 2019, and look what happened there. Do you know what I mean? So
okay. Quick one then, just flicking on then. Sorry, I'm rushing it through a little bit.
No, don't worry.
We will get you back on, by the way. We will get you back on.
Yeah, I'll
because it's been a difficult show tonight. To be fair,
my apologies.
I had a silly rant at the beginning. Well, I wouldn't say silly, but I had a rant that went on a bit. So Neil's just asked a question. I have a thought about this. Neil McDonald, are you Neil? Portsmouth supporter. He's just asked a question: should clubs get parachute payments? Is it fair to the other clubs? Oh, you know what? I don't agree with them. You get relegated, you get relegated. Do you know what the danger, Neil? And I'm going to say as well, Neil, as to what you guys and get your thoughts very quickly. And I'll be very quick, which is unlike me. The problem with not having parachute payments means that clubs who then get promoted won't spend money because they won't bring in the players they need at the level of wage they need to have any chance of surviving in the Premier League. Because if they know, they'll know there's a good chance they're going to go back down, and the club will be destroyed financially because there won't be parachute payments. I don't agree with parachute payments, but I do believe without them, the Premier League becomes a complete elite league, and it will mean that the 3 clubs going up will always come back down.
Yeah.
Unless you've been bought out by Sheikh Musa, whatever. That's my opinion on parachute payments. Don't know what you guys think. Very quickly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think, to be honest, I pretty much agree with you. But the only thing I say, like, if you look at someone like Norwich, they go up time and time again.
Yeah.
They don't spend the penny. They go straight back down. And that's where the fans get annoyed, because they don't spend a penny, do they? Whereas at least
they abuse the system in
exactly that, mate. Exactly that. They completely abuse it. But then there are other teams that go up and do try and spend and do try and have a crack. You look at Brentford, for example. They've obviously spent a bit of money and have stayed up, and we've done it in the past. We've gone up and spent money, and so it's got its pluses and its negatives, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, Dan said Anderlecht went up and had no money. Yeah, well, Anderlecht might have gone up, but mate, Newport Pagnell Town could have gone up in that league and done all right with no money as well. So we're talking Premier League, Dan. Dan, wobble your head. What are you on tonight, mate? Come on. Norwich is a typical example, though, unfortunately, of why parachute payments will destroy football if they're not there, because Norwich are a great example. They don't spend no money, and all they do is go up and down. Up and what's the answer? It's like the pitch invasion question, isn't it? It's like, what's the answer? Because we don't know. It's the same as parachute payments. There's so much for and so much against. What's the answer? How do you not make the Premier League an elitist league that no one ever goes down? Because that's be very close to what we went that far away from it anyway. But anyway, there we are. Anderlecht, come on, Dan. What's wrong with you, man? Right, quickly. I want to push on. What we'll do before we finish the show, we will talk about the up and coming games that are still to be played. So one controversial point that we were going to talk about, and this is controversial, so be careful how we talk about it. And it's great because I've got a plan. Okay, so PSG player refusing to wear the rainbow colours. Idris, and we think it's either gay or guy. We think when he was at Everton, it was pronounced gay. If that's the case, that's quite amusing, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2 Premier League players, one of them being Watford's Sarr, have come out and defended his decision, and they are being properly slated. This is another example of football that we've already said becoming a platform for all different movements to push their agendas. Now, I shall say my piece very quickly, and I'm no doubt going to get banned or shot down for it. I don't care about people's sexuality. I really don't. I don't care if someone's gay, lesbian, bisexual. I don't care. I don't treat them. They're human beings, and I treat them the same as I do everyone else. Am I comfortable with that sort of sexuality? I've got to be honest and say, well, no, not really. I don't like seeing 2 men kissing on the telly. I don't think most straight men do. I cringe a bit. I'm sorry, I'm being honest. But do you know what? I would never, ever treat a gay person any differently to a straight person. They're welcome in my home. They're welcome as friends. And they'd be treated exactly the same. So therefore, I ain't got a problem. All right. And I'm not homophobic, but I don't necessarily support this constant flagging of things. There may be some good in what some of it does. I agree. Transgender, the problem people suffer with transgender, I completely get that. We've had someone in our family who's done it, and I completely understand the trauma and that they go through. I wouldn't agree with anyone who's doing it because it's trendy. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, can't agree with that. But there are people that are in the wrong bodies, and I understand that, and they need help, and they need to get it through, and that goes on, and I completely get it. So the one element of this LG, and this is the problem, I ain't got a real issue with LG. Anyway, I haven't got a real big issue with it because, like I've just explained, I don't have an issue. I don't have a problem. To me, they're normal people. They're not gay. They're my friend. If John's gay, he's not gay. He's not gay John. Just like it ain't Black Leroy. It's my friend is Leroy. It's not Black Leroy. It's my friend is Leroy. And if the gay John is gay, he's my friend John. He ain't gay. He's my friend John. He's my friend Leroy. You know what I mean? And So anyway, the thing I don't, and this is why I don't support their movement. They've now stuck Z on the end, which I believe is all about this fluidity. Choose, all this, oh, you can be a man one day, a woman another day, and gender fluidity. And I'm sorry, not for me. Not for me. So I can't see why these people are being chastised. If they don't want to wear the rainbow colours because they don't believe in that movement, then I'm sorry. What are they doing that's wrong?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
You can't be forced. You can't be forced into something you don't want to do. I believe, apart from wearing a poppy, I think everybody should wear that. Naturally, I think that.
Yeah. Well,
it's just,
I guess if you don't wear poppy, you don't. That's your choice. Just stay out the way and let the people
exactly,
do it.
Yeah. But I think with things like the salute the footballers are doing now, and the gay pride thing, it's like you said, like they're just making a song and dance about everything. Me personally, I wouldn't wear it, and I certainly wouldn't take the knee either because obviously they were targeting war memorials. I won't do that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make me a racist. It doesn't make me homophobic. Do you know
I think the thing that really gets me as well is when it first come in, all the football clubs were so scared to ask their own players' opinions and do all this, and then suddenly I think it might have been Millwall decided to go against the agenda of taking the knee and held the banner up, and suddenly over the weeks and months that followed, you started noticing football clubs where a few of them were standing and a few of them were kneeling and whatever, and it was the same with the when it's the I can't say, I'm like you Gary, I can't say, but when it's that month of the year, but when it's that month of the year, some clubs do displays, some clubs don't. Do you know what I mean? And it's entirely up to the clubs, it's entirely up to the fans. No one should be pushed into it. But like, what really pisses me off is, for example, I'll use Watford as an example. Emmanuel Dennis for Watford, he has never, ever, ever taken the knee.
No, he hasn't.
For Watford. Right? No, the media won't say a word about that because he's black. But if a white player doesn't take the knee, there'll be an outcry about it. Do you know what I mean? Why is he not taking the knee? Why is he not doing this? If he was a top level Premier League footballer, why is he not doing this? Why is he not doing that? And it would be exactly the same with the rainbow badge or flag or whatever. If they were doing some sort of gesture on the pitch for that and someone didn't do it, it would be exactly the same for that as well. Like you've hit the nail on the head, Gary. Just like you said, it doesn't make you homophobic just because you might not want to partake in a gesture. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the real shame about all this is that if you don't agree with a movement, that automatically makes you. I mean, BLM's one thing. The LGBT. Just because I don't want to support the movement doesn't make me homophobic. I'm sorry. A homophobic person. So these phobic terminologies is the phobic terminology is about a fear of something. Yeah.
Well, that's what I always thought it was. A fear.
I have no fear about that, and I have no prejudice against gay people. I have gay, lesbian, bisexual. As I said, transgender. I experienced it in family. And at the end of that, that problem, I understand that. I don't like people who do it because it's trendy. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Because that takes away from the people that are suffering. And people who do it because it's trendy are damaging the people that are suffering. And so they need to be pushed away. But as for the
I think that's like a lot of things in life at the moment, though, mate. I think there is a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon, whether it be one subject or another, or mental health or whatever it may be. There's so many people jumping on the bandwagon, and it gets a reaction, which is a negative reaction. It takes it away from the people that are actually genuinely suffering.
Yeah, it's preventing people from going and getting help. I was talking about it the other day, and that costing lives. So for all them out there who think it's a fucking fashion trend, just fucking stop, because it really ain't. You contribute.
Okay, so I'm going to shut that down because we are almost out of time now. So. Like I say, I think the end result is I don't agree with them being victimised, cancelled, whatever you want to call it. I don't agree with that. I think everyone's entitled to an opinion as long as that opinion does not cause harm and distress to other people. So if your opinion is you don't like somebody over whatever reason, whether it's religion, colour, sexuality, whatever it is, if that's your opinion, you're entitled to it. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't mean you go out onto the street and do harm to that person, or you discriminate only. And that's the line that a lot of these wokey type people are crossing, because they automatically just associate you with being that sort of homophobic type person, when you're not. You're clearly not, but you don't have to agree with everything. You know what I mean? You're entitled to your opinion. Right, I'm going to shut that one down. Boy, oh boy, I can see us getting some problems with YouTube later. Right, quickly, I have to finish off with this then, guys. And people out there, it's been really topsy-turvy show. I do apologise. Now, somewhere I've got my little list. Right, okay. Football games going on. Very, very, very quick opinions, gentlemen, because I should be finishing now. Saturday, we've got Liverpool, Real Madrid. Prediction?
1-0 Real Madrid.
Anything but a Liverpool win.
And okay, we got Mansfield, Port Vale in the playoffs. I'm going to go Mansfield.
2-1 Mansfield.
2-1 Mansfield.
And I think 2-0 Real Madrid. I didn't say. Semi-final of the national, and we didn't get to talk about Starbridge, so you're going to have to come back on again. Semi-final of the National League, Wrexham versus Grimsby. What do you reckon?
Wrexham.
I'll go with the English team. So Grimsby 2-1.
I just think that was Ryan Reynolds. Like, he seems to be pumping money in there, doesn't he?
The thing is with Wrexham though is they seem to have bottled a couple of games. Like, they bottled it, didn't they, last day of the season? And they lost the FA Trophy as well.
They did. They lost to Bromley in the FA. Yeah, I don't know with that one. Right. Okay, I ain't got time to and ah. On the Sunday, we got Huddersfield Forest. Ooh.
Forest.
Oh, it's going to be a really tight game. It's going to be a tough game, but because I love Colton Town, Boatsy and Mick, I'll go Forest.
I think for me, I can see like a 2-2 and it going the distance, because I think Forest are probably the better footballing team, but Huddersfield, you keep thinking they're going to hit a wall this season, and they just keep going and going and going. And I don't know, are they going to get over the line? I don't know. But I reckon penalties. I reckon it's going to go the full way.
Okay, very quickly, Solihull Moors versus Chesterfield. I think Chesterfield on that one, but it is a Midlands club. What do you reckon?
I'll go Solihull.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Solihull as well.
Okay, cool. Obviously, you started following Starbridge. That is going to be a conversation for another day. Just quickly on the subject of what we were discussing, Neil's put up the Southgate was on the radio saying it's a shame we've made the gay Blackpool lad such an issue whilst talking about it and making it. And it absolutely, and there's your problem, LGBT. You've got to be careful, because you push the agenda on people, that can generate discrimination in itself. That really can, because people get tired of it.
Do you know what? Just quickly, when the Blackpool thing came out about that lad, the first thing I thought was, well, good on you, mate. If you want to be gay, be gay. Like, it's not going to, it's not going to change your opinion. If you're a Blackpool fan, you're not going to start booing him. Let him be what he wants to be. For me, it's not even news. It's not news.
Blackpool knew about it 7 months before.
Yeah,
telling me after players didn't know. Of course they knew.
It's not. It's for me. It's not news. Like any fan that treats him differently, for me, ain't a fan, are they? Really, it doesn't matter what sexuality.
The problem is because they make it news.
Yeah, because they want a reaction. That's why. Yeah.
And that feeds discrimination, I'm afraid. Right. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. I've got one thing to say to everybody, really. Normally at the end, I should have done this at the beginning of the show when there's more people on. But anyway, look, so end of season, folks. The shows will carry on. We probably have different subjects to talk about, and maybe not all of it about football. We are looking now towards what we do with our next step. Unfortunately, our website fell through. And we now we are having to go back to the drawing board on a website. We're also looking to put together a comprehensive program of away day specials throughout the season next year, and highlighting non-league football as well as lower league football with a bit of luck as well. So we've got to do a website as well. We're looking at a few other ideas to enhance the Proper Football project. But as everything, it costs money, and we've been dipping in our pockets for some time now. And for us to make these moves, put these programs together, get them all done and promote the clubs and everything else. Get the website up and running, which would be amazing. But we've been let down a little bit there. We unfortunately have got to start looking for funding. So I just want to say, we're not asking people to dip their hands in their pockets, but what we are doing is we are doing a thing called buy us a beer. It's supposed to be buy us a coffee. We've called it buy us a beer because it's football. And basically, if you really like what we're doing, and you want to help us develop this project, then just buy us a beer. There'll be a link go up, keep it out on our pages. We'll keep an absolute open book. And the other idea will be is we'll probably do a few football cards as well to raise a little bit of money to help us fund all this. But at the same time, what we're going to do, and I think Jono's ears might prick up a little bit here, is we're going to keep a total open book, all right? We do this because we love it, right? So any money that we make through fundraising from you people who support us, it'll all be documented. Anyone can see the books. It'll all be open book, all right? At the end of every season, we're looking any surplus money that is, if we've got everything we need and we've funded everything we want to fund and there's X amount left, we're going to give it to charity. But the great thing is we're going to choose 3 charities and we're going to put them up for a vote to everyone. So people can vote on what charity should benefit from the surplus money at the end of every season, because that's the way we feel. If people want to help us fund the project, then we want everyone to know where that money's going. Too many people do things and the money goes in the wrong places. And at the end of the season, every season, that charity, which will be chosen by you, the people, will be then given that money. And everyone will be able to see, if they want to look at the books, they can come and look at the books, or email, whatever. It'll be total open book. But we are unfortunately in a position now that we need funding to get where we want to get, and the benefit it'll have at clubs and everything else. So keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye out for football cards. That's how we're going to do it. There'll be a big finger explaining what I've just said. But yeah, we need help to progress, and people who want to get involved with it. Yeah. It's a great project, and it is. We have our token ex-professional football player in Cali, which brings us down to earth a little bit, which is good. But overall, we are basic fans, and I think today's show might have shown that, because how passionate I was about how they called out so many thousands of fans. I believe incorrectly, although correctly on a few. That's it, folks. Greg and Jono, I'd like you both to come back on again and
definitely
have a bit more time about football and everything else. Absolutely, Jono. We'll have you back on to promote stuff as well. All right.
Well, appreciate it.
People, go on to our YouTube channel and check out the interview that Dan done with Jono and understand a little bit more about the Football Veterans Club, Combined Veterans UK Football Club. Sorry. And while you're there, please subscribe. We need to get up and up and up, and we're not really pulling that one off at the moment. There you go, gentlemen. If you both stay put for a moment, I'll finish off now. Everyone, thank you for listening, or thank you for watching. If it's a Friday, don't put anything up because you're watching a repeat. All right. I'm not here to answer. So if you can do that, that'd be great. Other than that, please join us next Thursday. We'll have Callie back as well, and enjoy that. And good luck to all the teams that have got the final games of the season. And of course, next week we can talk about England playing in the Nations League. So we've got a lot of international football coming up for you. Then, other than that, it's good night. Chaps, if you stay on for a moment, I'm just going to do the final credits and we'll have a quick chat.